Okay, I mentioned on my Facebook page about how I was going to potentially wrap the wires in Umbra's legs in thread. It helps the Sculpey to have something to grab onto, so it doesn't, because see, right now you can just twist it around, and I can actually feel that there's an opening in there. It can wobble around a lot, which means that when I go to actually sculpt the muscle detail, or the tendons and stuff, it's gonna be really difficult. And it's also, his legs are a little too thick right now, but that's a separate issue. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down to right down to the wire, which I will have to find. It's right there. I can feel it with the knife. Maybe. My goal is to cut right down to the wire and then run my knife right along the wire. Since I haven't really sculpted the leg yet, it's not too big of a deal if I mess it up a little bit, but so I'm just going to cut right down. His hooves are attached, so I don't want to cut those. And then I'm just going to kind of peel his muscles away. Just want to give myself a little bit of room all the way around the wire. And you can see how smooth that wire is, that's why. It really doesn't stick at all. The Sculpey isn't sticky in any way, so it has no grip. So I have a little bit of super glue. I like this super glue. I get it from the dollar store. They have these great little bottles, so it means that it stays sealed well, and it's much more reusable than the little tubes. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to open it up right up to his elbow here. I'm going to go ahead and put a drop of super glue on the wire. And I'm just going to lay the thread into that. Hold it there for a second to hopefully set up a little bit, although it's probably going to pull away if I move it. So I'm going to let it sit for just a sec. And then, well, it's not really sticking at all yet. And of course if I put my finger in there, it's just going to end up glued to my finger. Here, I'm going to use his clay as a holder. I'm just going to carefully. It's a little more difficult here than it would be on a horse with straighter legs, since his legs are so close together down here. But there we go, now it's grabbed. Just going to wrap it with this thread. And it'll help a little bit. It's not like going to solve all of my issues here, but it will at least give the Sculpey something to grab onto, better than smooth wire. I could probably wrap it a few times if I wanted to. I think that once will help enough for what I'm doing. I'm going to do this to all his legs. Luckily I decided to do this before I had actually sculpted anything really on his legs, so it's not too big of a deal. I'm trying to make sure that my wrapping is reasonably close together so that there's lots of texture for the clay to grab onto. You could also do this with really fine wire if you wanted. I find that that is more difficult and not necessarily a whole lot better. This just lays so nice and smooth against the wire, I don't have to worry about it sticking out and getting in the way of where I'm sculpting my tendons later. Alright, so once I get to the end of where I'm just going to do it, and then I will trim it. Sorry about the dogs.